welcome to the Summit City Observer News Brief, your monthly dose of relevant community content brought to you by student journalists from Purdue-Fort Wayne's media outlet. I'm Lydia Reuille, the editor of the Summit City Observer, here to highlight a new Fort Wayne-based organization students can get involved in. Today, I'm joined by Isaac Wendel and Jaden Hullinger, co-founders of the eSports program 260 Widow Gaming. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us today.
Thanks for having us.
First of all, tell us how you started the organization.
Well, I think it was just one of those things where you start playing games and, well, YouTube today is just flooded with gaming videos. That's probably one of, if not the biggest sectors of YouTube. And so growing up, that's really all we know of YouTube. And so it was kind of one of those where, well, let's give it a shot. Why not us? And, well, we've played video games our whole life, and so if it's one of those things where if you can play video games with a bunch of friends and then record it and then people will watch it, then let's do it.
Yeah, I feel like it was kind of on a whim too. Like,
there
was absolutely no expectation. We didn't talk about it. We were just like, hey, let's do it. And so we just did it, I guess. I don't know, because we both participate in the esports, so we were like, hey, what do you know?
There you go. So what kinds of opportunities can students get involved in?
Well, we want to focus on, obviously, the area, because the 260 is for 260 for the area code in Fort Wayne. And we want to focus on giving high school students or college students the opportunity to play esports or get into the esports scene on a higher level. And we also want to work with the esports at PFW, because that's what we're both in. We just want the opportunity for kids that might not get it. Like we work with Snyder, or we talked to Snyder High School over there, and they have so many students who they have this beautiful esports like room with a bunch of computers, and there's so many kids who are invested. I mean, they go there after school and spend hours, like they're dedicated to this because they don't have the opportunity at home because maybe money or other things, and we just want to give kids the opportunity to explore the scene.
Absolutely. I love that. So, Isaac, I'll start with you. You're a sophomore here. Tell us about the things that you're involved in on campus and how they really tie into the work you're doing with esports.
Yeah, so I'm a sophomore. I'm going for mechanical engineering here, and so I'm very involved over in the engineering side of it, which really doesn't have a direct relationship to the esports, but we can kind of get into it where it teaches you a lot of time management, very, very busy, but it teaches you how to keep a schedule, how to really stay committed to things. But I think the most pertinent thing that I am involved in is the esports program here at Purdue-Fort Wayne. I am a member of the Call of Duty team. And so that really got me excited. It was my first experience playing competitively, meeting new people, and just sitting down and playing a game that you'd normally play for fun, but having some sort of competitive aspect to it, having almost a reward with it too. I think, I may be wrong, but at one point our Call of Duty team was the winningest team on PFW's whole program throughout the esports program, and so that made me feel good. But me and the other three guys that I compete with, love those guys, and three great new best friends. Now I didn't know any of them starting the season, but now, I mean, best friends. And so that's kind of how I'm really involved with the esports and the gaming side of it.
Yeah, that sounds really rewarding. Jaden, what about you?
I had joined the esports server, a Discord server where a bunch of the people will hang out, and there's voice calls that you can jump into. And I have been playing Rocket League since like 2018, but just for fun, on my own time. And so I was there, and they were doing a game night one time, and I joined, and so that they knew I was there, and I was around the same level that they were, but I had never really had shown an interest because it is a time commitment, and being an engineering student at Civil, it is a time commitment being an engineering student as well, so it's a lot to balance, and so I didn't really get into it. But then they needed someone, and they asked me to come on, so then that's kind of when I joined, and I played this semester, and I've always been a competitive person playing sports all through my life, like ever since I was walking, pretty much. So like the competitive aspect of video games as well brought like two passions together, and it's just a really good opportunity for me and just to get involved. I don't know, it was fun.
For sure. Again, sounds really rewarding. So how did you guys come up with the name 260 Widow Gaming?
Well, the first part was pretty easy. 260. I mean, we're both not from Fort Wayne. We're both actually from Ohio, and just coming to Fort Wayne, we instantly felt like, all right, this is home. Like it instantly. It did not take long at all, and so we have great pride in Fort Wayne and what it has and what it can do for us. Fort Wayne's the big city for me. It's the closest thing to that. And so the 260, 260, that part, super easy. I did not have any problem coming up with that. The Widow, part of it was just that it rhymed. We wanted something that sounded good. People could remember, and rhyming, people can remember that pretty easily. But looking into it more, and it kind of sent that message is that like a black widow. They're usually pretty secretive. They stay back or whatever. But if bit by black widow, it could be deadly. It's pretty dangerous. And so we kind of talked about this. That's kind of the idea that we have is like right now we're unknown. We don't have anything really out there. We're working towards it, obviously, but you give us a chance and we can be dangerous type thing. So if like a Call of Duty team or a Rocket League team goes into a tournament, they have no idea who we are, but you give us a chance and we might strike and come away with a win there.
That's a pitch right there. I like it. And I see the trend there because I'm not from Fort Wayne either, and I also have a lot of pride in Fort Wayne. So I like that we can all kind of appreciate the city from a different perspective since we're not from here. So you've told us that this is geared toward high school and college age students, and so far you've been in collaboration with PFW and working with Snyder. So how many are involved so far?
I think officially there is 8 of us. I think eight of us officially. All 7 of us are here in Fort Wayne, and then one we actually have someone over in Romania, over in Europe. He does our graphic design stuff, so thumbnails on YouTube videos. That's something he said he loves to do and everything, and he came on wanting to just get his name out in the States. And I said, hey, give it a shot. We don't have anyone who is doing it right now. If you want to give it a shot, like I say, and some of the things he comes out with, they're mind blowing. I will never be able to be that good. But yeah, right now I think we have 8 official.
Okay. Yeah. And are there plans to expand to other places, or do we get to keep this all to ourselves in Fort Wayne?
Well, we're not necessarily hogging the Fort Wayne members. Like, we will take members from outside Fort Wayne, but we want to be based in Fort Wayne, which is why we obviously branded after that. So there's not necessarily, we're not turning down opportunity. Like, we have someone from Romania. They don't have to be here in Fort Wayne to be a part of it, but we just want to create a community in Fort Wayne for this.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've told us that you want to partner with all different types of creatives in the multimedia world. So how is this platform able to really connect all different kinds of people with eSports?
Esports is one of those fields or those areas where there's so many jobs that you wouldn't even think about there being, but it's still like vital for the success. You start looking at some of your really big esports organizations, namely, FaZe Clan, Optic Gaming. Those are like the 2 top ones here in the States that most people, if you know anything about esports, you've heard that name before. But they have to have coaches. Just like any other sports team, you need coaches. A big thing that people are trying to get into is psychology. And so there are some teams who have psychologists for video games. It's weird to think about, like when you say it out loud, it's like, why is that a thing? But you gotta think about not get down on yourself. That's a big thing. Mental health and esports go hand in hand. It's very easy to get down on yourself, but you just gotta keep going. There's always a rainbow after a storm type thing, and so you gotta keep going. But but then obviously the more the jobs that make more sense, obviously you need people recording videos, streaming videos, editors, producers, graphic designers to do the artwork, marketers. Once you become like an actual business, you'll have payroll, so you need accountants, you need people to manage all that, people doing the paperwork, doing all that stuff, legal consultants. There's tons of jobs that go into esports that people may just kind of push under the rug and not realize and really think about until you try to make it happen. I know that's happened with us. It's like, well, we're trying to do something. Well, don't we need someone to do that? Crap, yes, we do. Okay, let's get on that. Let's find someone to do that. And yeah, so there's just so many opportunities to come with it.
Yeah, definitely. That's more than I would have ever imagined. And why is 260 Gaming an organization that students should come and check out on campus?
Well, a lot of, if they want to get into a professional organization or the esports scene for a certain game, a lot of times there's an age limit. Like I think Call of Duty is 18. You have to be 18 to compete for these pro teams to sign contracts. So this is kind of just like a preliminary. We want you to get used to competition, or we want to give you a trial run before you want to, if you want to keep pushing to go main stage. So like just looking from the outside, like if I want to get into professional, I would want to do everything I can to get there. So we just want kids to be able to join here, feel the environment, get the experience that you'd have up there, so that when they get there, if they do keep pursuing this, that they're ready.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys being here today. And lastly, where can we find you both on campus and on social media?
So the best way to find us on campus is the eSports Lab up in second floor Walb, right above the admissions office with the giant whale. You guys know what I'm talking about. That's where our eSports program here on PFW operates. Those lab admins in there do a great job. Joey and Shay and the other ones, they do a great job keeping that thing running. So you will always find one of us up there, probably either playing or talking or doing something up there. You can also follow the esports program on Twitter. I believe that's PFW Esports.
Yes.
And then for 260 Widow specifically, you can find us on Twitter at 260 Widow Gaming, also on YouTube at the same name.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys again. This has been such an educational experience for me. I know basically nothing about esports, so thank you for the mini lesson in there. And let us know how you are impacting your community this month. You can find us at summitcityobserver.com. You can find CTV at collegetv.pfw.edu. Come say hi in the basement of the library. We'll see you next time, and remember, as Angela Duckworth said, enthusiasm is common, endurance is rare. I'm Lydia Reuille. Thanks for tuning in.